All right, ready to dive into some urban fantasy?
Let's do it.
Today, we're looking at Cassandra Clare's City of Bones.
One of my favorites.
We're focusing on Clary and how she discovers this whole hidden world that exists right alongside our own.
A world full of Shadowhunters and Downworlders and demons. Oh my.
Plus runes and artifacts, so much to uncover.
It's a wild ride.
And it all starts in a pretty unexpected place.
Where?
The Pandemonium Club.
Ah, yes, that infamous club.
Clary's there with her best friend Simon,
Good old Simon.
and she spots this group, Jace, Isabelle, and Alec.
An interesting trio, to say the least.
At first, they just seem like, I don't know, really unique teenagers.
Right, like they're part of some exclusive club or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But then things take a turn.
A serious turn.
Because Clary sees Jace make a demon disappear.
Poof, just like that.
Vanished into thin air.
How do you even process that?
I mean, talk about a reality check.
Right from the start, Claire creates this sense of mystery.
There's so many little hints that something isn't quite right.
Like those glowing symbols Clary keeps noticing on Jace's hands.
The runes.
Right, the runes.
They're both fascinating and a little unsettling.
Definitely.
It's like her first clue that there's a whole other world operating in the shadows.
And then there's that scene in the storage room.
Oh yeah, when Jace actually confronts a demon.
I was on the edge of my seat reading that part.
It's a turning point for Clary.
She's forced to confront this reality that's hidden from most humans.
This world where magic and the supernatural are very real.
And that's when we learn about the Shadowhunters.
A secret society of warriors dedicated to protecting humans from demons.
Or mundanes, as they call us.
It's their mission to keep the mundane world safe from the darkness.
What I find so intriguing is their use of runes.
Ah, yes. The magical symbols.
They use them to enhance their abilities and weapons.
It's like a whole system of magic written on their skin.
Each rune has a specific purpose and meaning, right?
Absolutely.
Some give them super strength or speed, others offer protection or healing.
It's a complex and fascinating system.
But it's also a mark of their difference.
A visual reminder that they're set apart from the rest of humanity.
And then there's the Downworlders.
Those who are part demon and part human.
Vampires, werewolves, warlocks.
Each with their own unique characteristics and abilities.
It's so cool how Claire uses them to explore this whole idea of identity.
They're caught between two worlds.
Never fully belonging to either,
They have this constant tension between their human and demon sides.
which often leads to conflict, both internally and externally.
It's a great way to add depth and complexity to this story.
And don't even get me started on the relationship between Shadowhunters and Downworlders.
Oh boy, that's a whole other conversation.
It's definitely not all sunshine and rainbows.
You get the sense there's a long, complicated history there.
Centuries of conflict and misunderstanding.
Shadowhunters see themselves as protectors.
While Downworlders often feel marginalized and oppressed by their laws and restrictions,
It creates a really interesting dynamic.
and a lot of drama.
Definitely.
So while Clary's trying to wrap her head around all this Shadow World stuff,
She's got a lot on her plate.
her mother gets kidnapped.
Jocelyn
Jocelyn, right?
is a huge turning point in the story.
And her kidnapper is someone from Jocelyn's past.
A mysterious figure named Valentine.
Valentine, the name sends chills down my spine.
He's searching for something called the Mortal Cup.
One of the mortal instruments.
Powerful artifacts created by the angel Raziel.
Wait, an angel?
Yes, in Claire's world, angels are real,
Wow.
and they played a significant role in Shadowhunter history,
Each mortal instrument holds unique power.
making them highly sought after by those seeking to control the Shadow World.
So what exactly is Valentine's endgame?
Why does he want the Mortal Cup so badly?
He wants to overturn the Clave.
The governing body of Shadowhunters.
He thinks they've become weak and complacent.
He's a radical who believes the Clave is failing in its duty to protect both humans and Shadowhunters.
Sounds like a dangerous guy.
He is.
And to make matters worse, Clary discovers that her seemingly harmless bookstore-owning friend Luke,
Oh, Luke.
he was once a member of Valentine's inner circle,
A group called the Circle.
dedicated to radical change in the Shadow World.
It makes you wonder who you can really trust.
Right, because on the surface, Luke seems like this kind, gentle guy.
But he's clearly got a lot of secrets.
And a past connection to Valentine?
It's like peeling back layers of an onion.
Each layer reveals something even more shocking.
And as Clary dives deeper into the Shadow World, she uncovers a mystery surrounding her own past.
She learns she's not a regular mundane.
Runes, which are deadly to most humans.
They have no effect on her.
She's immune.
I remember that part when Jace marks her with a rune for protection.
And Hodge, the tutor at the Institute, totally freaks out.
Because it's against the law to mark mundanes?
It's a huge rule in Shadowhunter society.
It could have dire consequences.
It speaks to the strictness of their world.
Their unwavering belief in protecting the secrecy of their existence. So what does this all mean for Clary?
What are the implications of her immunity to runes?
Well, it suggests she has Shadowhunter blood,
A heritage she never knew existed.
throwing her whole identity into question.
Forcing her to confront the truth about her family and her place in this hidden world.
And just when things couldn't get more confusing.
She ends up having to visit the Silent
The
Brothers.
Silent Brothers.
Who are they again?
Remind me.
They're this mysterious group of Shadowhunters.
They reside in the Silent City.
A hidden realm beneath a cemetery.
Creepy.
They act as archivists and healers for the Clave.
What makes them so different?
They undergo a ritual that removes their eyes and tongues.
Seriously,
Yeah, it makes them incredibly sensitive to magic and memories,
they're pretty intense.
to say the least.
So Clary visits them, hoping to unlock blocked memories from her childhood.
She thinks it might help her understand her connection to Valentine.
And find her mother.
It's a pivotal moment for her,
She's actively seeking answers about her past.
even if it means confronting her deepest fears.
And the Silent Brothers, with their unsettling appearance and mysterious powers.
They definitely add to the feeling that Clary is entering a world where nothing is quite what it seems.
Like she's stepping into a dark fairy tale.
Speaking of dark fairy tale,
Hit me with it.
Valentine, Jocelyn's former husband,
And Clary's kidnapper.
is actually her biological father.
Whoa, hold on.
That's right.
This idealized image of her father she's been carrying around.
Turns out he's this power-hungry, manipulative figure.
And he kidnapped her own mother.
It's a huge revelation for Clary.
What a nightmare.
It throws everything she thought she knew about her family into turmoil,
And it adds another layer to her relationship with Jace.
who has become a close confidant
Jace, the one she has undeniable chemistry with.
and maybe even romantic feelings for.
But wait, there's another twist to Clary's story.
Remember her immunity to runes?
I do.
Well, she discovers she can also create new runes.
Just create room.
That's a very rare and powerful ability,
Maybe sets her apart from other Shadowhunters.
and suggests a potential even they might fear.
And to top it off, it turns out that Valentine experimented on her before she was even born.
He tried to imbue her with extra angelic powers.
It's all connected.
Her ability to create runes stems from those experiments,
Making her a unique and powerful force in the shadow world.
a force to be reckoned with.
This is just getting more and more complicated.
Just wait, it gets even crazier.
Yeah,
So we left off with Clary finding out Valentine is her father.
that's right.
And she also has a brother she never knew about, Jace.
A brother she might kind of, sort of, have a thing for.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to complicate things.
Understatement of the century.
But first things first,
What's Clary's priority?
she's got to rescue her mom.
Jocelyn.
Right, Jocelyn's been kidnapped.
Valentine took her.
It's a complete betrayal of trust.
Especially for Clary.
She's already reeling from the truth about her father.
And then finding out about Jace.
It's a lot for anyone to process.
Where does she even begin to unpack all this?
She turns to Luke for support,
The seemingly harmless bookstore owner.
who's secretly a werewolf.
And Valentine's former best friend.
It's interesting,
What is...
Clary's choice to confide in Luke.
Yeah, he's this steady presence in her life.
But he's also been keeping secrets.
Especially about Valentine being her father.
Their reunion is definitely tense.
You can feel the tension.
Clary confronts him about those secrets.
She demands answers.
She wants to know why he kept the truth from her for so long.
And Luke finally opens up
He tells her everything,
about the circle, about Valentine's descent into darkness.
even about his own transformation into a werewolf.
It's like we're getting a glimpse behind the curtain.
Seeing how Luke became the man he is today,
It's a pretty poignant moment.
we see this gruff, reserved man reveal his vulnerability.
He clearly cares deeply for Jocelyn and Clary,
And he carries the weight of those past decisions.
especially his involvement with Valentine.
Yeah, he's made some mistakes.
But despite all the baggage,
He steps up.
he promises to help Clary find her mother and take Valentine down.
Which brings us back to that complex relationship between Shadowhunters and Downworlders.
Always a source of tension.
Luke, as the new leader of a werewolf pack.
He's got to convince his pack to fight alongside the Shadowhunters. Not an easy task.
Given their history of bad blood,
It makes you think about the nature of alliances.
how do you keep aside old grudges for a common goal?
It's a real test of leadership for Luke.
And it speaks to the larger theme of bridging divides.
Finding common ground even when there's so much history.
Luke has to overcome centuries of mistrust.
to forge a new path forward.
One where Shadowhunters and Downworlders can work together for the greater good.
It reminds me of that saying,
Which one?
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right. Sometimes you gotta set aside differences to face a bigger threat.
And in this case, the threat is Valentine.
He's ruthless, manipulative.
And clearly willing to do whatever it takes to achieve his goals.
And we learn that he's not just after the Mortal Cup.
There's more to it.
He needs Jocelyn for something specific.
What could it be?
It's revealed that Jocelyn has been blocking his access to his memories somehow.
His memory.
Yes. She's the key to unlocking something powerful within him.
What could he be hiding?
It's a mystery that drives the narrative forward.
Keeping us all on the edge of our seats.
We know Valentine is dangerous.
But this adds another layer of intrigue.
And suspense.
It's almost like Jocelyn is a walking secret weapon.
In a way, she is.
So we're trying to figure out Valentine's motives.
Right.
And we also have Clary's powers to consider.
Which are evolving all the time.
Her ability to create new runes adds a whole new dimension to the story.
It's not just about fighting anymore.
She's tapping into a source of magic that even the Shadowhunters don't fully understand.
She's a game changer.
But even with all this action and world building,
There's still plenty of room for character development.
like the relationship between Clary and Jace,
Oh, yeah, that's a complicated one.
to say the least.
They have this undeniable chemistry.
But then they find out they're siblings.
Talk about a wrench in the works.
I mean, they even kissed before the truth came out.
How do you come back from that?
It's a testament to Claire's writing
How so?
that she can create such a compelling dynamic.
Even with this forbidden element.
Their connection is undeniable
But the circumstances surrounding it make it tragic.
and heart-wrenching
It makes you wonder if there's any possibility of a future for them.
as a couple.
Right. It's a tough situation.
So we have this forbidden romance,
Check.
a kidnapped mother,
Check.
a power-hungry father on the loose.
Check.
This is a lot.
It is.
What does Clary do next?
She decides to go after Valentine,
Even though he's escaped to Idris,
the Shadowhunter homeland,
she's defying the Clave,
and risking her life,
but she's determined to bring back her mother.
and maybe even Jace,
It takes a lot of courage,
to go against the established order.
especially when you're just starting to understand this whole shadow world.
She's come a long way since that first encounter at the Pandemonium Club.
She's not a naive teenager anymore,
She's embracing her Shadowhunter heritage.
even if it means challenging the very foundation of her world. But how does she plan to get to Idris?
The portal's gone.
And the Clave is probably watching her every move.
This is where things get really interesting.
Detail.
She uses her rune-making abilities
To do what?
to activate a motorcycle
A motorcycle.
that runs on demon energy.
Wait, what?
You heard me right.
A demon motorcycle.
It's a thing.
This sounds incredible.
And dangerous.
I bet.
It allows her to fly above the city.
It's a powerful image.
It represents her newfound freedom,
And her growing mastery of her abilities.
but of course with great power.
Comes great responsibility.
And demon motorcycles aren't exactly known for their reliability.
I can only imagine.
But this flight isn't just about getting from point A to point B.
There's a deeper meaning,
It's a symbolic journey
representing Clary's transformation.
into a powerful Shadowhunter.
She's not bound by the limitations of the mundane world anymore.
She's soaring above it
embracing her destiny.
and leaving a trail of demon exhaust in her wake.
Hopefully she packed a helmet.
With Valentine on the loose and Jocelyn in danger,
There's no time for sightseeing.
Clary is heading into unknown territory.
And the stakes have never been higher.
Clary's journey is far from over.
What happens next for her?
Well, after Valentine's betrayal and that whole portal incident,
Yeah, talk about a family reunion gone wrong.
she ends up back in New York.
Back where it all started.
She stays with Luke,
At his bookstore.
trying to figure out her next move.
It's not exactly a relaxing vacation.
Not at all.
She's dealing with a lot.
Her dad is a power-hungry Shadowhunter
Who kidnapped her mom.
and ran off with her brother.
A brother she just found out about.
It's enough to make anyone's head spin.
But Clary, she's not one to just sit around and wallow.
She's a fighter
She starts training.
with Luke and the other werewolves.
Honing her shadow hunter skills.
She's determined to rescue her mom and stop Valentine.
It's like she's found a new purpose.
A new family to fight alongside.
And her rune powers.
They're becoming even stronger,
She's able to amplify her abilities.
making her a formidable opponent.
It's like she's tapping into a wellspring of magic.
A power that even she doesn't fully understand.
Valentine knows what she's capable of.
And he's afraid.
What about the other shadow hunters?
The ones back at the Institute.
Oh, what are they doing?
Things are pretty tense there, too.
I bet.
Jace's absence has left a void.
Especially for Alec.
His feelings for Jace were pretty obvious.
And now he's dealing with the revelation that they're siblings.
It's a lot to process.
Just like their whole world has been turned upside down.
But they still have a job to do.
They have to find Valentine.
And stop him from using the mortal cup.
And the Clave, I bet they're not making things any easier.
The Clave is always more concerned with maintaining order and control
than with actually taking action.
It's frustrating.
So what does Clary do?
She comes up with a plan.
What kind of plan?
A risky one.
Tell me more.
She realizes that Valentine's weakness is Jocelyn.
His love for her.
He needs her.
To unlock something.
To access his full potential.
So Jocelyn really is the key to everything?
She is.
Clary's plan is to use herself as bait?
She knows Valentine won't be able to resist.
Especially with her newfound powers.
It's a gamble?
But a gamble she's willing to take.
She's not afraid to put herself in danger.
She has Luke and his pack to help her.
And Isabelle and Alec.
They're starting to see her as one of their own.
They're becoming a real team.
And remember that demon motorcycle Clary got from Magnus Bane?
Oh yeah, that thing.
It comes in handy for her plan.
She stages a dramatic escape from Luke's apartment.
To draw Valentine out into the open.
It's like a scene straight out of an action movie.
And it works.
Valentine takes the bait.
Hook, line, and sinker.
And it leads to a chase through the city.
This is intense.
Culminating in a final showdown. At an amusement park.
An amusement park.
I know, it's unexpected.
But it totally works.
It's this clash of the mundane and the magical.
The innocent and the dangerous. So what happens at the amusement park?
A chaos.
I can imagine.
Clary confronts Valentine.
Using her rune powers.
Luke and the werewolves battle Valentine's demon army.
Amidst carousels and Ferris wheels.
It's quite a sight.
And Clary finally learns the truth about Valentine's plan.
What is it?
He's trying to summon an angel.
That's not good.
Angels are incredibly powerful.
And in the wrong hands.
Like Valentine's, they could be devastating.
Just when it seems like all hope is lost.
Jace appears.
What a twist.
But it's not as simple as you might think.
Why?
Valentine has spent years manipulating Jace.
Poisoning his mind against the Shadowhunters.
Jace is torn.
Between his loyalty to Valentine.
And his growing feelings for Clary.
It's a battle for his soul.
It is.
And Clary is the one who reaches him?
She reminds him of who he truly is.
Yeah.
She uses her rune powers.
To create a new rune.
One that weakens Valentine.
And forces him to flee, so they don't defeat him completely. No, he escapes.
But Clary saves her mother.
And brings Jace back to the Institute.
It's a victory.
But a bittersweet one.
Jace is still dealing with the trauma of Valentine's manipulation.
And Clary knows the fight isn't over.
It's the calm before the storm.
They've won this battle, but the war is still raging.
Well, I think City of Bones offers a powerful message for all of us.
What's that?
There's often more to people and to the world than meets the eye.
You can't judge a book by its cover.
Exactly.
You have to be open to the unexpected.
And never underestimate the power of family.
And friendship.
And maybe even a demon motorcycle or two.
Those always come in handy.
Until next time, fellow deep divers.
Keep exploring.